What's going on? What's going on, y'all? We are live here. Okay, we just finished eating some barbecue right now. Okay, but listen, it's 2026, y'all. All right, and people are starting to pull out, of this whole online, marketing thing. And I just want to help people out a little bit on this episode right now to let everyone know that if you haven't started marketing in 2026, you are making a huge mistake. A lot of people have been, kind of had mixed emotions this year because, we've had a few what they call liquidity events that will come out and grab your money, or in the media it will get so much attention that it will kind of discourage you. Now, I'm gonna tell you what realm that we're moving into. We went from grassroots marketing to print ads to social media only, and then now we're in a hybrid mechanism. So going forward, you are not only going to have your own business, so-called Google reviews and things like that on a grassroots level, so you're searchable, but you're also now going to have to be required to have content online that is consumable to your addressable market. A lot of people don't know their addressable market because they think that being a content creator is talking about random subjects, talking about things that don't really matter, but it gives you the escapism that you've been desiring all along. So you think that you have to produce that type of content. Meanwhile, someone that's in the real estate, business will come right along and you'll see that one little person that just keeps popping up. Someone that's like in a trade style business, like a carpenter or a plumber or an electrician, will come by, and it's usually only one or two of them that you can name that are actually taking content seriously. And the reason that is because those people that have a trade and that actually have a physical business in this life, or in our realm, where you can go out, look on Google and actually search them, those are the people that are gonna win going forward. You're no longer gonna be able to draw money off of so-called coaching without any help to be offered in a real sense. You can't teach people anymore to sit down in front of their computer for hours on end and actually consume and make content anymore. Those days are over with. So a lot of the people, and I would say largely Gen Z, a tad bit of millennials, are kind of in a gray area now because they've actually tried the marketing online and it hadn't worked for them because they've realized that what they were saying did not work. I have stuck my neck out on the line, literally talking about all different types of subjects, comments, trying to be number one in the comments, doing things that was super like controversial, just to come back to let you know that those things do not matter. The controversy does not matter. The only thing that you want to do is make sure that your business and yourself are showing up on this app continuously, no matter if it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever that you use, LinkedIn. It does not matter. You have to now create content contextual to your business. Now, going forward, you're also going to need more than one page. So you know how Joe Rogan does his content? He streams on YouTube, and then all of a sudden you see like 1,000 clips. That's not by chance. Those are independent distributors of content, aka clippers, that clip his content. And he is able to reach a mass audience because that one channel, who actually watches his channel? But you're more likely to watch him if he pops up on Instagram. And when you get tired of Instagram, you go to TikTok. And then you see him on TikTok. When you get tired of TikTok, you go to LinkedIn to try to be professional. And you actually see him up there. And it's on a continuous cycle that you see this one human being over and over and over again. This is the name of the game going forward. You have to take your entity, take your channel, and learn how to maximize and monetize what you're doing. So let's say we're having a great conversation. It gets captured on camera. What are you gonna do? Are you just gonna hope and wish for those views to come to that one channel that actually a very small percentage of your friend base is even watching or following? No, you're gonna produce that content that maybe get 100 views, aka YouTube. Then you're gonna take that same video and you're actually gonna clip it to go on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, Snapchat, all of these platforms, and LinkedIn. You're gonna use those contents, those bite-sized pieces of content, if you learn how to curtail your message good enough to be able to distribute across multiple channels. So when people are saying, oh, I'm posting 7, 8, 10 times a day, they're not meaning that they're posting 4 to 7 to 8 times a day on one platform. They're taking one piece, aka YouTube. I post on Facebook, I post on TikTok, I post on LinkedIn, I post on YouTube Shorts. That's 6 pieces in Snapchat, 7 pieces of content that are going across all channels. Now, if you're heavy on one and you saying, oh my God, I don't want to do any of that by going all of these accounts and posting the same video with a different copy and a different wording on top of your ads, then guess what? You need to hone in and now take that same method of those 7 videos, and now you need to hyper focus them on one platform. So you may have to focus and play the game of volume on one platform if you just so happen to choose to not want to maximize on your content. When you are doing this, you want to make sure also, again, I touched on multiple pages. You want to have at least 4 to 8 different pages that you're doing this on for all of this to be able to make sense. So just like back in the day when we used to turn on the channel, no matter if it was ABC, NBC, whatever, even Lifetime movies, those ads, you saw what? Your same grocery store ads on all of those channels. That means they're on ABC, on break, they're on break on your favorite TV show, on Lifetime, on Stars, on HBO, all of these platforms where they used to get ads back in the day on TV. You are now having to reduplicate that manually by going and creating multiple accounts within these platforms. So when you do that, that gives you a chance to, spin your wheels. You don't have to stay stuck and confined and like, oh my God, my page is not growing. No one is consuming just one page. No matter how many followers that you have, no one is going to consume, and you're just not that important for someone to pay attention to you and they manually come back to your one channel every day. They need to see you multiple times to gain interest. Then they need to see multiple times to gain familiarity. And then all of a sudden, they need to see you multiple times to actually allow them to start paying attention. And then they need to see you one more round of multiple times to be able to actually purchase from you. So a lot of the times, even when people run ads, they're running ads, and when you go and look at their page, they have no content for the people to escape on. So once you get them hooked, all of a sudden they go to your page, you have no more content. You just maybe content from years ago, nothing recent that they can actually, feast on like they're doing. Just scroll, scroll, scroll. People are so nosy nowadays, and you can't bullshit them anymore. You have to take your content to a new level where not only am I running ads, I'm also, when they click on the ad, they can come to my channel or page and feast on more content that I have that they might be interested in. A lot of people are trying to go across social media and talk about multiple things. The way you win is you pick one area that you're good at. You do not see a plumber try to make carpentry content. You don't see an electrician go and make plumber content. You need to pick one area that you know that you're an expert in and that you can dominate in. Something that you can talk about forever if anyone gave you a chance to do. And you need to pick that lane. Now, when it comes to categorizing your content, you want to make sure that when you're recording, you keep all of those hashtags, all of those on-screen texts the same, because that's how you get the customer. When you go down the road, don't you see the same billboard? They're not coming back and altering a billboard. That billboard is there. They pay for a certain amount of mind share and a certain amount of advertisement. And guess what? You ride by that same billboard every day until someone actually is like, oh man, I remember that commercial. Oh, have you ever heard of this person? Have you ever called the number? Then you get interest. So you need to pick your area, be definitive in the subject that you're trying to market, and you need to go forward full speed ahead. Every day, multiple times a day, posting content. And the way that you do that is you record one long form video. You take that long form video, hire a clipper, or you can clip it yourself, and you continuously every day share a clip of content. You don't have to keep recording every day. You are too busy to have to record every day unless you want to go into the live stream business, which is even better. Okay? Because now you can be unfiltered, you can be yourself, and you don't have to worry about getting all of these things crammed up into one 10-minute to 30-minute video. You can just let your ideas flow, because guess what? When you live stream, it's stored for a certain amount of time. You can still take that same live stream and post-produce it on YouTube. And guess what? Your clippers will have access to your content on a continuous basis. Now, again, rule number 1, pick your lane. Number 2, make sure you're actually an expert before you start marketing, so you don't have to sift through a bunch of thoughts and go through a bunch of takes. Make sure you're an expert. Number 3, upload your video on YouTube or use Twitch like I do. Then hire someone or use yourself to clip your content over and over and over again about the same subject. Different takes, different copies, different hooks, different call to actions. So when you're going forward in your content, stop worrying about talking about multiple things. You need to be an expert in your field. You don't need to go cross-platform talking about everything. If they see you on Instagram talking about plumbing, they need to see you on Facebook talking about plumbing. They need to see you on YouTube Shorts talking about plumbing. They need to see you on LinkedIn talking about plumbing. They don't need to see you talking about plumbing on one, and then all of a sudden relationships on another, and what happened in politics today, and then what happened in your daily life. No one cares. They only care about what you're an expert in. And a lot of people are experts in nothing, especially in this day and age. People have a lot of time on their hands, and they're consuming. And what they're doing is they're comparing themselves to this person that is masked by lights. But guess what? If you ever sit them down in an interview and they tell you what they do on a day-to-day basis, it's always surface level. No one can ever go in depth, because you know why? What they're really doing is looking, seeing, comparing themselves like, oh, okay, I think I can do this message better. I think I can say it even better for my audience. And guess what? The moment that you do that, your audience just doesn't care, because they're used to you talking about makeup. They're used to you talking about plumbing or electrician work or just politics. They're used to you talking about it. So the moment that you divert away from the path, all of a sudden you try to entertain a crowd that's not focused on you. So now you have to curate a whole nother crowd and amass all of these other views from people that are strangers that never cared about you in the first place. Like I said, focus on what you're good at. Focus on being an expert in your field and post about that one thing. I'm here to tell you, when you go and the way that you can continuously talk and allow it to reel off, all of a sudden you become more familiar. All of a sudden, just like cutting an onion, if you cut an onion multiple times, don't you think you'll be good at it? Don't you think you can flow after about the 5th to 10th onion? Don't go here and post something, about plumbing or makeup or politics, 2 days, and next thing you know, now you're posting about food. Now you're posting about, a day in the park. You have to be consistent. These platforms are marketing tools. They're not to be sharing your total life with the entire world that's not even watching. You have to make sure when someone searches your name, if they're curious enough, when they go and search you, do you pop up for what you were talking about and what you piqued their interest of? If you were to go to a networking event right now and you said, hey, I enjoy relationships, when they go onto your page, they're going to expect to hear something familiar, which is about relationships. So they want to see you talk about the same thing that you just talked to them about in this meeting. When you don't, all of a sudden you get swipe, and you go on to the next topic, and you don't pop up there. You have now put yourself in a box where everyone is only paying attention to you for 3 seconds and they're swiping. So to build a following, you have to be relentless in one area. Like I said, I stuck my neck out on the line doing all different types of concepts, showing me in person, showing me IRL, talking about relationships, politics, talking about all of these different topics, all to come back to use them as an example to let you know that these topics do not matter if you are not consistent in one area. I am a content junkie. Okay, I love creating content. I love recording content. But guess what? Content about what? That's what you need to ask yourself. You love content too, but what content do you love? Why do you want to create content for your business? And how can it apply to your same concept and your message that you're trying to get across? You have to figure this out. Stop creating content blindly if you don't have a plan. My content going forward is now geared towards helping everyone understand what active marketing is. That is my term. That is my brand that we are going forward canning, meaning active marketing. I'm trying to get everybody to understand that you have to take your brand. We need to see you in physical world and we need to see you in digital world. We don't want to just see you on TV and not be able to lay, eyes or hands on you in public. This is not a pay-to-play system where we only get to see you online. If it's something dealing with food is the perfect example for this. When you see something online, what is the first thing that you ask? Where did you get it from? Who cooked that? That's the same way with your business. If you are marketing something, they're going to ask who, what, and how can I get my hands on this product, or how can I get on the phone to talk to somebody about this service that you're doing. Understand, active marketing is when you take your daily life and you put it on the screen, and if you're not active enough, you're going to have to get creative. You need a physical business. Having a business without any legal ramifications, meaning contracts, even a certificate from the state, you don't have a business. You have just something that you're wasting time doing. You need to have an actual business in life to be able for all of this to make sense. Stop flying by the seat of your pants thinking that, you have a bunch of likes. It's a lot of content creators out there that have plenty of likes with zero money in their bank account. And you know why? It's because it's like high school all over again. It's like they want the popularity. And look at everyone who's popular. They're non-existent. Most of them don't even post. The same people that you admired in that high school and that college, They're not even active online. Very, very few of those people that used to be popular. Because you know why? They got overloaded with that attention. They got it easy. But one thing that was consistent out of all of that, the reason why they were popular, is because everybody saw them. They had somebody to impress. The only people that you need to be impressing is your customers. You need to let them know relentlessly how you can make their life better, how effective you are, how much time that you save. You need to let them know something that your customers can latch on to instead of public opinion. Stop doing things for public opinion. Start doing things that are hyper-focused on your business. If you are in the beauty business, you need to be focused on beauty, all things beauty. If you are focused on a trade, plumbing, carpentry, electrician, you need to be hyper-specific on what you are doing. Otherwise, you will continue to have yourself in a situation where you're just flatlining on your content. So today's message is to get active in your business. People should see you. That also, I want to touch on grassroots marketing is not dead. Print marketing and flyers and things are not dead. They're just clouded in this whole social media space. People have to see you somehow. Just because you post does not mean people see you. They have to see you physically and digitally. Always remember that. So going forward, I'm going to be giving you social media tips. I'm going to be giving you actual business tips in the physical world as well, so you can see what it is to be active with your marketing. No more hiding behind the screen. It's time for people to see you in real life. And with that message, I'm out of here, y'all. Y'all have a great day. Let's start this week off strong, and I'll be back with another video explaining to you what active marketing and how important it really is.